Time to go ahead and go into the next set.
All right.
And
here we go.
Sorry guys, a little bit of a miscommunication there.
There it is. Alright, so the map is going to be Xel'Naga Caverns. We have Alicia spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as our blue Protoss. And over yonder, across the giant chasm in mid, we have his opponent, MVP's Monster. coLMVP's Monster.
It's funny you mentioned the giant chasm in mid. We're going to have to give this a name. You know how every
It's like the Sarlacc pit, but it's not alive.
Your body will be digested for
over
1,000 years. That's a terrible way to die.
I know, man. Lando almost gets it.
So does... Oh, Boba Fett gets it, man.
Boba Fett gets it bad.
Dude, Boba Fett was just like a little kid.
Lando,
he's so adorable.
Lando gets the tentacle to the leg, and he's like, yeah! His little squeal when he gets the tentacle attached to him.
I thought you were blind. It's okay, I can see better now.
Just like, bap. He should have blasted Lando's arm off.
You should have shot his leg off.
Yeah, Lando's punk. Although Lando definitely comes through in the end. I mean, he turns things around.
He does.
He didn't really have a choice, right? When Vader comes up to you and he tells you something, it's like, you don't really have too many options, you know? It's like, yes, Lord Vader, immediately.
Well, he is the Emperor's right-hand man, so you kind of got to listen to what he tells you to do.
Yeah, we got to get the chat up, dude. We got to pop that up real quick. Sorry, guys, give us like 1 second. Alright, anyway, openers for both players seem pretty standard here. Nothing really out of the ordinary just yet. Monster's actually opening up with Pool before Hatch, which is very standard on this map.
Yeah.
Doesn't want that pylon to block his expansion for too long.
Yeah, it's usually pretty often here that we're going to see players go ahead and open up with the Pool before Hatch in most cases. Against Protoss, and it looks like Alicia coming in here with the probe gets 5 minerals permanently and will run away. Over inside the Protoss main, Alicia right now just throwing up the second pylon, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and get that cybernetic score down. So no Forge Fast Expand coming out of Alicia, which some Protoss players will be bold enough to try on this map, where you can kind of wall off from the ramp down towards the Nexus. But it looks like Alicia is going to stick to the more safe, I think, and more conventional on Xel'Naga Caverns one-base build. And we'll see where he goes from here. Obviously, eventually we'll get that expansion, but will it be like a one-base expand with mass sentries? Will it be a 3-gate expand?
Well, I think you're right in your assumption. It's either going to be a 1-gate or a 3-gate expand. That's what we almost see exclusively on this map. Sometimes we will see players go for that super fast Stargate as they're dropping their natural expansion. Those are really the only 3 builds that Protoss players have been using on this map, you know, anytime in recent history. So we will have to see. It looks, as of now, though, that he might just be going with that single gate. I don't know. We'll have to see. He is chrono boosting out a Zealot and a Stalker very early on in this game. Well,
that early Zealot and Stalker will certainly help him secure that natural down if he decides to go for that. Probe here getting corralled back over into the natural, and it will get picked off by that Zergling eventually, unless it wants to go ahead and... well, if it goes into the main, it will get picked off. It goes back home. Maybe it will be saved and spared. The Stalker now that was chrono boosted, as you mentioned before, Pain User, is on the way out. We do have a second gateway down.
Third.
No indication as to a third quite yet, but he has enough money, and I think he just threw down the third gate, so we are going to have what seems to be a 3-gate expand here, and the probe did make its way back home as it got assistance from the Sheriff Stalker.
Indeed. Stalker out on the map will give a little bit of map control for Alicia. It'll allow him to poke out, check the Xel'Nagas. We don't have...
Oh, is he going to get that Overlord?
Maybe, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's looking like the Overlord might get out of there in time. Yes, it will.
It's gonna be close.
A terrible loss if that Overlord had gone down. Yeah, that was close.
He might get it from the other side.
Doubtful though. The Zerglings are there.
Oh, he needs to move that Zealot. Is Zergling speed done? Let's check out the production tab real quick.
It looks like speed is...
It is indeed.
Is done. Yes, it is. You can see the wings on the Zerglings, which indicate that metabolic boost is complete. Stalker trying to take a gander over on the edge of the map here, but it cannot see the Overlord, which is now tucked away and safely regenerating HP. Monster not going for an aggressive approach towards this expansion. A lot of Zergs will overproduce Zerglings and try to delay the Nexus as it comes down, but it looks like Monster is going to be content to let Alicia expand as he drones up.
I'm actually a huge fan of that on this map.
Yeah, me too.
Protoss players just have such a difficult time dealing with Roach Ling all-ins on this map. It makes things so hard for them. And if you just hit them with a solid timing push, you know, right around the 10-12 minute mark, you can do a lot of damage. Although, straight into Twilight.
Council.
Interesting.
Now, a couple ways you could go with this. I mean, DTs are a possibility, but I think he might go with Blink here. I don't think he's going to rush, you know, a Templar Archives to get, you know, Charge or Archons that quickly. But I'm thinking here either Blink or Dark Templar, but not Templars.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Blink or Dark Templar. We haven't seen Dark Templar in a while, and they would be a little bit late. Yeah. That's generally something that you want to go for early on in the game and maybe feign the expansion just to trick your opponent a little bit. And there we have Blink on the way with Chrono Boost coming as well. But surprising that he got Blink so early on. I don't really see him using that right off the bat here. He does have a Forge coming as well, so I think this is going to be some sort of a Blink +1, maybe +2 timing attack. Add a few more gateways in there, go up to 6, maybe 7 gates, and that's a strong push you've got off of 2 base here. And to boost and to bolster the push, he already has these early sentries down that are going to be accumulating a ton of energy. So usually when you see a push like this, there won't be too many sentries because it's just so gas heavy and you want your push to come as early as possible. But this way, he's delaying the push a little bit. Oh, he's getting a Robo as well. Wow, he dropped an Archives, a Robo, and a Forge. Going down a bunch of different paths right here.
This is really, really interesting. And you mentioned before that the Blink so early on is a little unconventional. Usually, Protoss players are going to get the Blink after
Zerglin gets into the main. I don't know if you got that full scout right there.
Oh, that's a huge scout.
For Monster, and that is terrible for Alicia.
Yeah, now the Blink is revealed, but even Monster, just like us, he's got to be wondering why such a quick Blink, but he's certainly going to be prepared for any push that Alicia does come out with. Now, what's really going to pique my, or at least sate my curiosity here is what is he going to do with this robotics facility? Is he going to get an Observer? Is he going to get a Warp Prism?
Absolutely.
Let's see. An Observer. So for a second
get a Warp Prism after.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought maybe a Warp Prism, ferry in the sentries, and then blink the Stalkers under the Warp Prism.
Okay.
That's what I thought he was going to do, but it looks like he is going to go for the Ops, at least for now.
I could see that working out. You know, Warp Prism is outstanding for that, especially on this map. It's just a really quick distance from ramp to ramp, and you can get some sentries up in the main,
force field the main,
chain force field the ramp, blink all your stalkers up there.
Exactly.
And if he had a pylon, he could actually. Ooh, is he going to get some units trapped here out in mid? He needs to be careful.
Well, he doesn't need a pylon. You were mentioning before at the end of that sentence because he's got a Warp Prism.
Oh, it's still so nice. Oh, that's true, but it's still really nice to have an offensive pylon.
I do agree.
They have so much hit points compared to the Warp Prism, and it's pretty much a guaranteed warp in spot for quite some time. 6 gates now.
For Alicia.
That's
quite a few gates, and he's about to finish +1 weapons, has a couple of Immortals coming out. Excuse me, just 1 Immortal. So it looks like he's going to have a pretty powerful army here, Pain User, as the Zergler Monster is grabbing the gold expansion. Now, is Alicia going to be able to break that gold? That's where the focal point of this game is now going to lie upon because of that timing window that Alicia's got with the +1 weapons, with the Immortals, with the Stalkers, and of course that expansion coming down for Monster. So that's really where the most blood is going to be shed here. And Monster's going to want to get kind of a buffer zone. The more creep he can spread out, the more units he can get, the more difficult it's going to be for Alicia to break that gold. And interestingly enough, we do have Burrow for one of the Roaches. Just to regenerate that HP.
Well, you know, the one thing I don't really like about Alicia's build thus far is the super early blink. I mean, I just don't really see how the super early blink really plays into his build. I mean, he hasn't used it yet. He's not going on the offensive.
It might have thrown him off. He might have used it, but he got scouted, so maybe that's why we don't really know what the master plan was.
Yeah, maybe he changed things up a little bit. Exactly. That's definitely a possibility. Here we have him moving out again, and, you know, he's keeping tabs on Monster's army, at least. He knows exactly what Monster has and just how much of it, but Monster has a ton of units right now. He's actually in a really good spot if he wanted to engage here. It looks like they are going to engage outside the natural. No. Both players just kind of smash into each other for a second there and then back off. Monster looking to get a great arc outside of the natural, just kind of waiting for Alicia to move out, and then he's going to pounce. And his creep is just now starting to spread its way. Look at that creep spread.
Yeah, I know, man. That is from Monster. Really phenomenal creep spread. And like you said before, it's going to set up the pounce, if you will. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, boom! As soon as Alicia pushes out, he's going to get swarmed from almost every angle. And, you know, a Protoss player here, what can they do to kind of alleviate that? We're going to see Alicia try to use the edges of the map as he pushes out, and you can also see him trying to get the golds right now, but it's going to be so hard to do. Oh, he pops off a tumor. It's going to be so hard to do because of that creep that spread it so far in already.
It's not a tumor. Now he has a couple more creep tumors coming in here. And he's just going to continue to spread this creep all the way out to Alicia's base. Alicia sticking to 2 base here. Here comes Johnny, going to get a full scout on the army. Oh no, Alicia all over it.
Yeah, very good awareness right there from Alicia. Getting a couple of pot shots with the Force Stalkers in the front here. I like the number he's using to kind of poke and prod with. Not too many so that it's vulnerable to a fungal, but just enough to ward things away.
Yeah. And here we have Monster potentially moving in a little bit. No, he doesn't want any of that, so he's going to just kind of play cat and mouse.
Look at that creep spread, man. It's getting all the way to the front here. Yeah. This is some really crazy creep spread, and until Alicia gets at least 2 or 3 Colossi, I don't know how he's going to be able to push this away.
Yeah, I don't think that at a pro level I've ever seen somebody spread their creep this far on Xel'Naga.
Yeah.
And this is ridiculous. He's spreading it into the 3rd now, potentially.
Ooh, gets 4 Stalkers right there. Will it force the engagement of Alicia? Alicia dropping quite a few force fields. Only gets 2 Roaches in the front, though. And it looks like Alicia here feeling pretty brave and confident. Going to push out with most of his forces. This is a very wide open spot, though. Definitely going to favor Monster. He's going to get the flank from the left side. Force fields coming down on the top and on the right side. Will it be enough to hold Alicia? Fungal also comes out on his main Protoss ball as well. Those Colossi are doing work, though. I think Alicia is going to be able to clean this up just barely.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, quite easily. Look at that.
Yeah, Alicia coming up huge in that battle. He was down on supply there. Now he's evened it up, and his army tab is nothing to scoff at.
Wow.
And there is no Spire down, is there, from Monster? I don't even think he has the capability to build Corruptors right now, no.
Yeah, that's a big point to note right there. No Corruptors. These Colossus really don't have a thing to worry about because they can step away, sidestep the Roaches and the Zerglings on the ground and just get back. We might... Oh, there are Corruptors in the air, so there it is.
There is a Spire.
Monster coming in with
completely missed that round of production. Sorry, guys.
But he is going to get the Corruptors in there, and I think he's got enough Corruptors to clean up the Colossus. Yes, he does. Now, he may not have enough ground forces to clear the Stalkers and the Zealots yet, but we should see a massive stream of Zerg reinforcements in moments. Now the question is it going to be in time to clean up the forces before they destroy his gold?
Well, I don't think so. We do have 36 Lings in the production tab and a lot of Corruptors that are just kind of out on the field now, hanging out sort of lackadaisical in the midfield. But
could have picked off that Corruptor or Colossus.
Alicia already sent all of his Colossus back very intelligently. Where are his... He lost the majority of them then.
Yeah, he actually lost most of his Colossus.
Well, there you go.
That is one reinforcing Colossus, but it's just kind of standing
there. Yeah, I thought he actually sent them back there for a second. So these Corruptors did pay for themselves by taking out all those Colossus.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is Monster wasn't able to reinforce in time, and he did lose his gold, so now he's going to try to step it over to the Ninja location and hope he can hold on to that last fortress for a while as he picks off a couple of Zealots on the left side of Xel'Naga. Now, his army very diminished right now, but he is trying to get up to Greater Spire, and if he can get Broodlords out, really, Alicia doesn't have that. He has quite a few Blink Stalkers, so even Broodlords, man, he's going to have to get a large number, and he's still going to have to overpower just the sheer Stalker force from Alicia.
Yeah, very true, and Alicia's actually scouting the right-hand side of the map right now as we speak. 2 Zealots headed over there, and they're going to start working down that hatchery. Gotta be frustrating for Monster. He just can't catch a break here. He's certainly been playing well. He just can't catch a break.
Turning point of this game, I think, was just this massive battle here where I thought Monster had a great engagement.
He did, except the force fields just absolutely ruined his life.
Yeah,
he needed to either back off or tunneling claws under those, which he has, I believe. I don't know if he has tunneling claws. I know that he has burrow.
It doesn't look like he has tunneling claws.
Yeah, that's a mistake on his part.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. He should have pulled back when he saw the force fields, let the sentries expend their energy, and then go in for wave 2 on more favorable terms. I mean, as favorable as that position was, force fields can mess a Zerg's day. Now, that's not to say Monster's out of the game yet. He has quite a few Broodlords coming out. In fact, where are those 8 Broodlords? There they are. I like how he's placing them all the way in the back. A lot of Zergs will morph in the middle of the field, leaving them vulnerable, but he has quite a few Broodlords. Will it be enough to deal with this many Blink Stalkers?
I just don't think so. What are the Blink Stopper upgrades at right now? Stalkers.
Plus 2 weapons.
Stopper.
Roaches and Zerglings also sharing pretty similar upgrades. Well, at least the Roaches are. The Broodlords
so
not
only
quite
the
having
Roaches have the upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no more anti-air. out on the field for Alicia. So these Colossus are going to give him all kinds of problems.
I don't know.
He transformed his entire Corruptor pack into Broodlords. He's trying to lay siege to the gold right now. He needs to be very careful here. I think that Alicia could come up huge in this battle if he micros properly. First 3 Broodlords go down immediately. Another one will follow suit. He is losing a lot of Stalkers, but it doesn't really matter. GG is called. There we have it. Oh my goodness.
수상전